Hey everybody, I'm AJ.
I'm Aaron.
And we're from modernintel.ca. So,
wow, that was awkward.
Delayed. Alright, anyways, we're going to kind of jump right in and talk about the differences. Well, basically we're going to focus on what MILSIM is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does MILSIM stand for, if you would, please?
Well, first of all, it is two words, mil and sim. As you can see here, military simulation. That's what it means. So, right?
Yes,
that makes sense.
That does make sense.
So the idea of MILSIM, or military simulation, if you don't know, is to get the closest feel to what a military user would get. For example, they're using real steel, so you're obviously not going to be able to use a real steel rifle on a paintball field. But we want to get the closest to that because it is a MILSIM situation.
Yes.
So in that case, we're going to be talking about things like magazine fed and the operations and how it works all together.
Right.
So first of all, we have three different types, and what are they?
Basically, you're looking at three different types of paintball. MILSIM, military simulation. Woodsball, which is kind of a cross between Speedball and MILSIM because it's kind of the borderline. Usually played in a large field, semi-forested, semi-open field, da-da-da-da. And then there's just, straight Speedball, which is just a small little field, a group of 5 to whatever amount of guys, and they shoot at each other till they're all gone.
Yeah, that one's pretty intense, and it's full auto or ramping. That one's nuts, and that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll show you two pictures right here. So we got MILSIM, right? And then this is Speedball, or this is not MILSIM. So that gives you a pretty good idea.
Yeah. And then, Woodsball, which most people have played, is somewhere in the middle, right? Like I said before. A large field, usually 2 bases, and then, you have different key points throughout the field, but, sometimes it's half forested. Very hilly. It depends on where you play, right?
So we just showed you the difference between MILSIM and Speedball, but MILSIM and Woodsball are actually pretty close.
Yeah.
But people get confused. In some older videos we've done, the TM15, TM7, those markers are not MILSIM. And why is that?
Well, both of those markers run on batteries. You take that thing apart and there's a board inside.
There's electronics wired.
Exactly. And I don't know. I've never seen that in a real military operated, weapon.
Yeah, because if they're on the field, if like a real military team is on the field and their batteries fly out, what are they going to go get? Durcells from the convenience store?
Yeah, sorry. Time out, guys. I need batteries.
Yeah, like, how's that going to work? Sorry, guys, I got to stop shooting.
Yeah.
That'd be actually kind of funny. If it just stops because there's batteries missing, that'd be awesome. Could you imagine?
That'd be ridiculous.
Everybody's like shooting at each other. Give me a second. My battery ran out.
It's like when you play street hockey. Car.
Yeah, it'd be like that, but real life.
Yeah.
Everybody's shooting at each other. That was my rant. Sorry, guys.
So, a lot of people would say that the TM15, TM7 would be MILSIM because, say, the TM15 has Picatinny rails, or it has a fake mag that doesn't really do anything but hold like parts kit
or the battery.
Or the battery, right?
But in that topic, is this MILSIM? Just this shell right here? No.
No, it's just for looks, right?
This is just, it's got Picatinny rails on it, but that does not make it MILSIM. No. It's just a piece of plastic. And guns we're not picking on them, but it's the best example. Guns like the TM15, TM7, they're just shells over like an invert mini.
Yeah. Which
is a Speedball marker. That does not make it MILSIM. Since we're going after the closest thing possible to military, we're most likely going to be looking at MagFed. And,
you take a look at, MagFed pistols like the TIPX, which is, basically the new TPX, just a 7-round mag. And that's all it runs on, right? CO2 in the front here, but that's it. You don't have anything in the inside that needs or requires batteries.
Yeah. And then you got things like the rifles. This is a MK7P kit from Takamo. There's also MILSIGs and the 20-round mags.
Yep.
And these are going to be the closest you can get to military simulation, right?
Correct.
Because otherwise you'd be using a hopper, which is going to be your little egg-shaped blimp hanging off the side, and I've never seen a real gun use that.
Well, if you want to consider that blimp being an like upside down box mag, then yeah.
That's probably the only thing.
But Ratfor's come out with a box mag, so if you want to use a blimp on your marker, just throw in a box mag.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
So also with mags comes another way to improve MILSIM even closer, which is for strike. And why would it make any different than a normal paintball?
A normal paintball is just round, right? Everybody knows what a paintball looks like. Not a lot of people know about first strike, especially new users. First strike is basically just half of a paintball. The other half is basically fins that help rifle it through the air, allowing it to be more accurate, travel a greater distance. It's basically just an improvement on the paintball product.
Yeah.
And really, to get military simulation down, you need to start using these a lot more often.
At least some scenarios or situations, like we understand that not everybody's going to use them all the time.
Yeah.
Like pistols, you're probably going to be using paintballs most of the time, but they are compatible with things like Tiberius and whatnot, so you can load them into your mags. And that's why you want to use MagFed, right? Because these can't fit in your hoppers.
Exactly. It wouldn't feed properly, and you'd end up shooting a first strike round backwards or something stupid.
Or sideways, or yeah. So with MILSIM comes MagFed, comes better rounds.
Yes, but MILSIM is also harder work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to focus more on reloading often. Depends on how often you shoot. If you're just shooting to lay down cover or whatever.
For example, how many rounds?
7 rounds.
And 6 with first strike.
Yeah.
This is 8 and 8 with first strike.
Yeah.
And then that one is 20 paintballs. This one does not shoot first strike currently.
But you know, everybody's kind of incorporating the first strike paintballs into their markers now. It's a big new thing. If you don't know about it, you really should do some research on it, because it's actually a very good idea.
Yeah, it'll improve your shots, and when you only have like 7 or 10 shots or so, you know what? Having those extra accurate shots. not sure. Whatever. I'm not a dictionary. Having those extra shots that are first strike are going to make those shots even better.
Yeah, because then you'll know they'll fly straight and true, right?
Yep.
Instead of having a paintball go whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Keeps it straight, keeps it real.
Yeah.
And you know what? Military guns, what are they? What are their caps? Their mag caps? 20? 10, 20, 30?
30.
30. Yeah, and they have smaller mags that are probably, what, 10s? Like the straight mags?
Yeah.
For like civilians or whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have magazines up to 30. We don't have a mag that's 30, but this mag is 20. So we're getting pretty close.
Yeah.
We're actually lower. So it's even more intense, and it teaches you to conserve and use tactics on the field, which is what military as well does. Uses teamwork.
Yeah.
So you're not just like a one-man army the whole time. You have to work together.
Which you find a lot on woods ball fields, right? It's just a large group of people who are forced onto one team, the other group of people is forced on, but they don't know each other. They don't know how to work together. They don't do anything. Nobody takes command. Sure, there are generals, but they don't really incorporate everybody. Most people will just listen to what the general has to say and then go off and do their own thing.
They'll be like, okay, let's do this. Okay, guys, let's go.
And
then I leave, and then that's it.
Yeah,
right?
And everybody just splits.
MILSIM, on the other hand, you got to work together, because like I've got 8 shots, he's got 7.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get close. We got to communicate, and we have to make sure the shots count before we get out.
If I'm reloading, I have to let him know to kind of hold back on some of his rounds unless he absolutely needs them until I'm done reloading, right?
Yep.
So then you need to be a quick reload, so you have to practice on that. It's a lot of work, but it
definitely improves your game.
Yeah.
And who you are as a paintball. And not, I'm a better person. Not that, but
yeah, that.
oh, okay. All right. I guess AJ says it improves you as a person too. So you might want to get to work on that. So again, to kind of go over things quickly again, just to final up. MILSIM. It is military simulation that basically you want to get as close as possible to a real military situation. And in that, we mean MagFed, because military rifles use magazines. They're not going to use hoppers.
No.
And then, as well as that, more real shaped paintballs rather than just a circle, like a musket, right? Because real guns use real rounds that are more of like a dart shape, more so, rather than a ball shape. Unless you're shooting a musket right now, and you're probably not winning a war if you shoot a musket, right?
Yeah, you're a little behind the times.
Yeah. And then as well, you're using Molly, which we'll cover in another video. Because you know what? You're not going to be using a pod pack with a magazine. Good luck doing that.
It would just be difficult.
Yeah. And then tactical gear, camo, and all that stuff. Boots, tactical gear, and tactics.
Just tactics. Yeah. Just different techniques on the field.
Tactics and communication with your team. It's not just the guns. It's everything.
Yeah.
And Picatinny rails necessarily don't make it MILSIM, and magazines don't necessarily make it MILSIM. Not necessarily. We've seen some guns that is, it's a pump and it loads sideways or something. That doesn't necessarily make it MILSIM just because of MagFed. But it is closer than just Picatinny rails.
Yeah.
So that's about it, I think.
Yeah, if you have any more questions or you think we've missed something, please let us know.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do a revised video.
Yeah, we're always doing tons of videos for this.
Yeah.
We'll do a different version of MILSIM or a more in-depth video, maybe a specific part of MILSIM or something like that. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, this is part of our Modern Intel's Guide to MILSIM and Mag-fed Paintball.
Yes.
We're going to be uploading these videos every once in a while. Make sure you subscribe to check them out.
Just to follow along.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
More.
See ya.